Good evening po sa inyong lahat. Welcome to Lira in Law, broadcasting live from London, England. Ang pangalan ko po, my name is Lira Simon Kabatbat. I am a lawyer. I'm a solicitor, in fact. I've been in practice now over 3 decades, over 30 years. And as I say, I'm broadcasting directly from London, England. My firm is Douglas Simon Solicitors. Ang pag-uusapan po natin ngayon is, pag-uusapan natin, of course, batas dito. So legal developments in the United Kingdom. But today, ang topic po natin is immigration. And it's, as usual, the government is keeping us, immigration practitioners, also very busy. And so tonight, ang topic po natin is, again, we're dealing with big topics, that is partners, the updates nga, partners as in the definition of partners, and also the changes, updates on the changes in minimum income requirement that was originally introduced in December. Tapos they've clarified further things in January. Yun din pag-uusapan natin. And actually, one wonderful question from our regulars is to do with visitor visas, and that the changes have come into play on the 31st of January. So really big topic. So I hope that you can join me tonight, and that you enjoy the show as much as I enjoy being with you and preparing the show. So as I say, pangalan ko po Lira Simon Kabatbat. I am broadcasting live from London, England. Today is, of course, for those of you who are in London, it's been really raining. But anyway, I hope that you are inside, tucked up, warm, with a cup of tea, or better yet, hot chocolate, watching us. So now we'll take a short break, and then coming back, we're going to launch into our topic, which is partner applications, partner visas, update nga, also to do with update on minimum income requirements, and of course, later on, update on visitor visas. So big topics altogether. We have lots to get through, and we have great questions today. So please join me again. Saglit lang po. Only a few minutes. We'll take a break, but please join me again. Welcome back po. Again, welcome to Lira in Law, broadcasting from London, England, every Thursday between 7:30 and 8:30. Talking about today nga updates on immigration law. But of course, we are going to be dealing with just any kind of law nga gusto yung pag-usapan nga. But today ang topic po natin, dual big topic. And as I said earlier nga, I'm being kept very busy to try to keep up now with changes, with updates. And the two dual topics that we have tonight is changes in the minimum income requirement, which was originally stated in December and the definition of partner. Now, so let's deal with minimum income requirement muna, no? Many of you would know that the current law, so ang batas po ngayon is yung 18,600. So kung kukunin yung asawa nyo nga dito, kung wala kayong mga anak, then the minimum income requirement is 18,600. Now on the 2nd of December, they introduced what they wanted to implement. And at the time, they wanted to increase the limit actually to 38,700. Massive uproar. No? Now they've clarified what they want to do, and sabi nga nila in spring, so it's more likely April rather than next month, which is March. They're looking to increase the minimum income requirement to £29,000. Now, on top of that, they've clarified a number of things. Yun pag-uusapan po natin also ngayon. So, una nga, from about April, I hope rather than March nga, the 18,600, no more. It will then be £29,000. But it's as I've said, they've clarified a few things, which is good news. Okay. Now, any application made before the change, even though the application is then decided after the change has been made, will be dealt with under the new law. So kung pasok yung application nyo nga ngayon, tapos natagalan nga, may delay for whatever reason, tapos nagbago nga yung batas. Contrary to the usual process, ang gagamitin nila 18,600 na pinasok yung application bago nagbagong batas. So that's good news because usually that's not the case. So yun ang una. Pangalawa po, mga bata. So sabi nila, they're not going to add, so at the moment, itong 18,600, yung minimum yun only applies kung wala ang mga bata. Kung meron kayong mga batang dadalhin, they may dagdag kung hindi sila British or indefinite leave to remain. So ibig sabihin, first child is 3,600 on top, and then after that, every child is 2,400 on top. Wala na po yun. So when the law changes, it is one amount. So if it's hindi nga 18,600 plus an amount for a first child, a further amount nga for the second child. Ngayon, so from April, they're looking to just have a flat amount. So it would then be 29,000 minimum income requirement, regardless of how many children you coming with you on. Now, also clarification again of people who are already in the United Kingdom, because that was a big thing. Sabi na, well, hang on, kung nandito na ako, tapos ano ba kailangan pakitang income? And some people they may have a problem with satisfying 29,000 pounds, especially kung malayo nga sila. In London may not even be an issue so much because generally the sweldo nga dito mas mataas ng konti. But if you are outside of London, it may well be that even joint income is not reaching 29,000 pounds. So they clarified that too. So sabi nila, kung nandito na kayo, no, ang visa nyo na nga is spouse visa o indeed fiancé visa, nandito na kayo, ang income na kailangan yung pakita, hindi yung mas mataas kahit nagbago na ang batas, dahil nandito na kayo with a family visa, with a spouse visa o fiancé visa nga, o a partner visa. Ang kailangan yung pakita is the lower amount of 18,600, which again is good news. And that will continue until you get your indefinite leave to remain. So there will be a kind of a two-tier system, mga tao nandito na with the type of visa that with the spouse visa, with the partner visa, or indeed fiancé visa, and those who are coming later. Now, sabihin natin nandito na din nga kayo, but gusto nyong palitan yung visa nyo. So sabihin natin nandito kayo on a work type visa o estudyante nga kayo. But so you want to swap your current visa, say an unemployment, to that of a spouse, pero nagbago na yung batas. Now, ang sabi nila, in that case, it is the higher, it's the new law that applies to you, yung 29,000. So kung kera kayo nga dito, tapos may nobyo kayo, no? Gusto nyo magpakasal nga dito, pero nagbago ng batas. Hindi na yung 18,600, kahit nandito na nga kayo, but rather the higher amount of 29,000 pounds. Okay? So those clarification of the things that worried people nga, yung mga issues, especially kung dito nga ang tao, at least they address those, and hopefully it means nga na it's less of a concern for some people, no? So it's not perhaps as dire, no, as initially nung in-announce nga nila on the 2nd of December. And so from the 2nd of December, it's moved on from potentially 38,700 pounds to 29,000 pounds to clarification nga of the of treatment of applicants kung nandito na nga kayo. So it's moving in the right direction. And 29,000 is still quite a big amount of money, especially kahit nga joint income, no? Kung nandito na nga kayo, it's a potential still concern, especially if you're living outside or working outside London. But it's better at least. No? I do think the clarification was much needed and very welcome because I have had clients certainly who were very worried. Nalaman nila, so 29,000, actually in the very beginning, 38,000 pounds, over 38,700 sabi nila. There was, I don't think I've ever had so many phone calls, no? The following day, because nung nabalitaan nga nila, so in the papers, mga kalayante ko, they were all very worried. I was getting phone calls and emails. So this is very welcome clarification nga. So kung magpapasok nga kayong application, ang payo ko pa rin, even though at the moment hindi pa nga nagbabagong ang batas, ang payo ko kung magpasok ng application, especially if you're making an application from abroad and you can do it now, do it now. Okay? Do not wait until the law changes. Hindi nga natin alam kung magkakaproblema kayo in relation to income. So if you can, do it now. Now, that's one big topic. Second big topic, and this is actually a welcome change. No, I don't have many of those. Unfortunately, we don't have many of those nga in immigration at the moment. Yung mga panibagong ng batas, mainly it gets stricter. It gets more difficult nga. But this is a welcome change, and it's this, no, partners. No? So I would say nowadays, a big chunk, not quite 50%, but coming up to 50%, mga kliyente ko, hindi sila kasal. No? Now, it may not be a problem kung hindi nga kayo kasal dahil meron kayong ebidensya na talaga nagsasama kayo. So at the moment, those people who are looking to apply as partners dahil hindi nga kayo kasal, previously, kailangan yung pakita, the old law was, kailangan yung pakita, you've been living in you're in a relationship akin to marriage, and you have been living together a minimum of 2 years. That is how you define a partner. Now, the good news is, at least I think, and I hope not, it's good news, depends really how it's implemented. They changed that. So let me just read to you, because it's worth certainly reading it, no? And I for you, I printed it out especially. So at the moment nga, current rules, let me just reiterate that, no? Sabi ng batas, a person who has been living together with the applicant in a relationship akin to marriage or civil partnership for the last 2 years prior to the date of the application. That is how a partner, unmarried partner is defined. So let me just emphasize that, no? A person who has been living together, tapos later on sabi niya 2 years. Nagbagong batas, no? The new rules from the 31st of January 2024, so it is only 2-3 weeks old, no? Sabi dito, it will be now it's set out as follows. So rather than they took out the living together. So sabi dito, where the couple have been in a relationship similar to marriage or civil partnership for at least 2 years. You know? So the phrase that went away from that, you know, is the living together now, which is great news anyway for potentially, depending on how, of course, the Home Office implements it, for people who are already in the United Kingdom, you know, who are not living together for whatever reason. They can't because of hindi pa sila, it's a societal thing, o kaya it's a question of practicalities, but in a relationship, you know, akin to marriage. So you are actually, even though you're not living together, your relationship is like a marriage nga. And there are circumstances where that can be the case. Sa Pilipinas po, kung na doon kayo especially sa Pilipinas, and I know one of our viewers who has this question nga, ito, alam naman natin sa Pilipinas, walang divorce. Okay? And I certainly have quite a few clients nga, ang question nila sa akin, well, okay, yung partner ko na umuwi sa Pilipinas, nagkikita nga kami, hindi nga lang kami nagsasama pa, no? And sometimes nga may mga anak pa rin, may mga anak din sila. So clearly in a relationship and also in an subsisting relationship. Yung nga lang problema, hindi sila pwedeng magpakasal sa atin dahil yung taong nasa atin, yung applicant nga, kasal, no? And as we all know, no, from the Philippines nga, walang divorce sa atin. But there's of course annulment. But annulment itself can be quite difficult. I mean, alam nyo din, there are quite strict requirements for annulment. Never mind also the time that it takes. The last I heard, it takes up about 2 years, no, on average, no, for annulment to from beginning to the end. And of course, there's also the issue of cost, and also there's the procedural issue. Which is the psychological aspect nga when you're submitting an annulment petition. So this is how I would wish it to read nga, no? Kung nasa Pilipinas nga kayo. So sabihin natin, nandun kayo sa Pilipinas, meron kayong boyfriend or girlfriend nandito sila nakatira, for whatever reason, you've not been living together, dahil dito sila nagtatrabaho, nandun kayo sa Pilipinas, hindi pa nga kayo ready nga dati, every 6 months or every year umuwi nga yung partner nyo, meron kayong anak, o indeed even if you don't have children nga, no, sa Pinas nga, but you are for all intents and purposes in a relationship akin to marriage, like a marriage. So for example, sinusustentuhan kayo, no, both ways, no? You are for example living in their house, no? Or you're living with their parents. Meron kayong mga anak, ikaw yung nag-aalaga ng bata. Yung nga lang, you have not been able to, you're not living together the required 2 years until now, no? And they are British, for example, or indefinite leave to remain na nga dito. And that's always been a difficult situation. In the past, I've advised client, okay, if you don't satisfy it, but what we could do is you can make an application under the exceptional circumstances route. And if you're a practitioner, alam nyo, no, actually, makalayanti ko nga din, alam nyo, exceptional circumstances, ang hirap, no? It's very difficult to establish exceptional circumstances. Hindi naman imposible, but it is not an easy route to undertake. Now, this, I hope at least, will take that away. Dahil nga, let me just read to you again, yung panibagong batas. So this is applicable as of the 31st of January, so only 2-3 weeks old nga. Where the couple, so a partner, is where the couple have been in a relationship similar to marriage or civil partnership for the last 2 years. You don't have to be living together, at least according to this. Of course, kung nagsasama nga kayo, even better. Kung meron kayong ebidensya nga na talagang nagsasama kayo. Pero kung hindi nga kayo nagsasama, pero yung sitwasyon nyo nga is pretty much a marriage. So nasa Pilipinas nga kayo, so typically nasa Pilipinas nga kayo, meron kayong asawa nga dati, you've not been able to get an annulment, and there's of course no divorce nga sa atin, but you want to enter the United Kingdom as the partner of your British partner nga dito, someone who says settled status in the UK, and yung relationship nyo has been ongoing for a minimum of 2 years. Not living together, but you have been ongoing, yung relationship nyo 2 years plus. No? Then this new, law would allow you to enter the United Kingdom if they are minded to apply it in the spirit, I think, in the spirit that it's been, I think, changed, no? So it could be yung Home Office. I mean, it's very new. I've not actually had a case yet where I've submitted an application na ganito ang sitwasyon nga nila. But I must say, I am making those representations now. And so I have certainly existing applications where I've said, well, okay, hindi nagsasama yung kliyente ko, tsaka yung sponsor nga nila, but they have clearly been in a relationship akin to marriage, like a civil partnership, a minimum of 2 years. Now, anong ebidensyang pinapakita ko? So, for example, it would be things like kung meron kayong bank account, no? kung nandun kayo sa Pilipinas, siguro meron kayong joint account. Siguro nagpapadala siya sa atin, kayong gumagamit nga sa Pilipinas. Kung nakatira kayo, ang bahay nyo joint names, no? O kaya yung bahay nyo, yung kuryente, yung tubig, ganon, nanggagaling nga, kayo nagbabayad, pero ang bayad nga nanggagaling dun sa account nyo. O better yet, kung meron nga kayong anak, no? It doesn't matter how many, okay? And mapapakita nyo from that evidence ng relationship nyo being ongoing a minimum of 2 years. So the 2 years is still applicable. Yung nga lang, the thing that was, if you like, changed, no, is the living together. So it potentially helps you. Kung nasa Pilipinas nga kayo, you can't get a divorce. There's no divorce sa Pinas. And you can't get an annulment for whatever reason. This potentially helps you. It takes away the need for making an application under the exceptional circumstances, no? Which truly ito, I'm sure it will be used. I mean, I'm certainly beginning to use it now in relation to applications in the United Kingdom. Where in the past, itong 2 years living together presented my clients with massive issues. But now, this is something I must say takes front and center with those circumstances. The circumstances are, nandito nga kayo, hindi nga lang kayo nagsasama dahil I also have a lot of clients nga nandito sila sa London, yung kliyente ko. Pero yung asawa nila o yung partner nila, I should say, partner nila in Yorkshire, no? Dahil nandun nga yung bahay niya. Pero nagkikita sila lagi. Pagka day off ng kliyente ko, living in siya maybe, pag day off niya, umuwi siya sa Yorkshire, o pagka day off yung partner niya, pupunta siya sa London. So it is a relationship akin to marriage, no? Holidays, they do it together, they share resources, no? They have a joint account, yung nga lang hindi sila nagsasama. And this hopefully will change that. But truly itong bagong batas, I think it will be substantially helpful if you are applying it from the Philippines, because Philippines, of course, is one of the few countries, if not, I'm not sure whether it's the only country also where there's no divorce, which does not then allow, of course, remarriage, no? Kung nandun nga kayo sa Pilipinas. And this, hopefully, cures that problem. So it is a huge potential, no? Because of course, ang mga bagong batas, it's one thing when they announce changes, but it's another thing to implement it. So at the moment, it's so new, hindi pa rin natin alam how is the Home Office treating this. I've certainly made submissions nga on this basis, pero wala pa silang sagot. And I'll keep you up to date as soon as I get my first application where this issue has come about. Because since it was introduced now on the 31st of January, I probably submitted where this issue came about, siguro 6 to 10 applications. So it is something that I am using extremely regularly, no? So I'm quite looking forward to see kung anong gagawin ng Home Office, anong sasabihin nila. Are they going to insist kind of to seeing people living together? Of course, kung nagsasama nga kayo, then even better. And kung meron kayong mga dokumento nagsasama nga kayo, then of course you should submit those. Yung nga lang, kung hindi kayo nagsasama, and there's also no possibility, no realistic way of living together, especially kung nandun kayo sa Pilipinas, no? And nandito nga yung partner nyo. And so it's every 6 months umuwi siya, or every 1 year umuwi siya, dahil mahal nga din pamasahe sa atin. Then it could be that this is exactly what you need in order to satisfy the partner route. So ibig sabihin, application nyo would be under the partner route. So ang makukuha nyong visa, kung makalusot kayo dito, is akin to, or very similar to the spouse visa. So that would be 2.5 years. During that time, pwede kayo magtrabaho nga dito. You need another 2.5 years. Pagka 5 taon na kayo dito as a partner, that means spouse or partner, as in as someone who has had a relationship for 2.5 years. Doesn't have to be living together nowadays as of the 31st of January. Kung yun ang sitwasyon nyo, ang bisang bibigay sa inyo, 2.5 years nga din. Pag 5 years na nga kayo dito, pwede na kayo magpasok na application for indefinite leave to remain. That's kind of a very simplistic way of putting it, but there are quite a lot more conditions, hindi nga lang yun. But this means nga that it may take away this headache of having to see, okay, annulment nga. Kung hindi nga annulment, and then, of course, kung nagpetisyon nga kayo annulment, hindi naman basta-basta. Usually means you have to wait until it's finished. And last I heard, it takes about 2 years, average, hindi maximum, but average 2 years. That's a long time to be apart. And in that 2 years, lots of things can happen. Of course, pwede kayo magkaanak, and it's a shame that if the child can't be in the United Kingdom, hindi ka, dahil naiwan ka nga sa Pilipinas, So, it is, I think the change, this change nga, may well help an awful lot of people, especially nga kung nandun kayo sa Pilipinas and you're in a situation where you can't get divorced, walang divorce nga sa atin, but you can't also get an annulment. It could be that this means na you don't necessarily need now an annulment because nga of this change. So it is again a massive potential, because of course depends nga kung anong gagawin ng home office. Sometimes may panibagong batas and then they don't actually apply it perhaps in the spirit that it's meant to be. So I'm hoping na yung nga they will apply it in the spirit it's meant to be applied, and it helps nga those people who are clearly in a genuine relationship more than 2 years, akin to marriage, yung nga lang hindi sila nagsasama. So watch this space, because I would as soon as I get nga any decisions based on this, where this issue has come about, I will let you know, because I am certainly excited to see how it's going to be applied nga by the Home Office. So big things happening nga in immigration, and I can't. It's exciting. Is probably, I don't know what's exciting necessarily is the description for immigration at the moment, but it's really busy. From the end of December, well, actually in the last 2-3 years, it's been quite. The changes have been monumental. But certainly in the last siguro 12 months. Last 6 months, and heck, last 2 months, from December, from just before Christmas, 2nd of December, one thing after another, and it's continuing. And of course, there's this change that's coming about in April. Pero hindi lang po yun, marami din nagbabagong batas, and one of our viewers actually asked the question, brilliant question, about visitor visas, and again, it's a big topic. So that's one of the things na pag-uusapan nga natin mamaya, So it is it truly is incredibly busy po ngayon, in immigration. Now, gosh, take a breath, Lira, you probably noticed I'm so excited to impart nga these changes. Sometimes not great changes, but sometimes especially the last change, the definition of a partner is potentially a great change, hopefully. Now, okay, so now that I've have probably overwhelmed you, with our two big topics. Let's kind of let's go to my favorite part of this of the show, which is the batihan. For those of you who are regulars, and I'm pleased to say we have a few regulars quite a fair few regulars. You very kindly say hello on online, and some actually say hello now recorded. So I'm quite excited also about that. But this is my favorite segment, as I say, because I love saying hello and I love receiving your greetings, nga, no? So okay, so without further ado, tignan natin. I don't know if we have any hellos. I hope so, no? And if we do, let's make a start. Na tingnan natin if we have any. Greetings. Oh, Miss Paner, the lovely the lady in red with the lovely long hair, no? I tell you, mahaba nga din ang buko, nakikita nyo naman, ano? But nothing, na a patch on the lovely Miss Paner. So, hello po, sabi niya. Hello po, Attorney Lira. At sa lahat, good evening po. Good evening, Miss Paner. I hope you're keeping well. I hope you're inside, no? And tucked up warm. Dahil, nung bumalik ako, umuulan. Miss Rafael! Emmeline Rafael. Miss Rafael, she is gorgeous, no? And she's so kind always to say hello. So, she's feeling good because she's all caps, no? Hello, good evening. Oh, watching from Barnet. So, good. So, balik natin. Tingnan natin. Ang sabi niya, hello, good evening, Attorney Lira. And everyone, happy Thursday to all viewers. Happy Thursday po, Miss Rafael. And you are watching from, sabi mo dito, nasaan ka? Nasaan ka yun? Siya lang, Barnet. Okay. Miss Rafael is she just travels everywhere. And I want to her life, no, next year, because she just hindi siya natatakot, no. She is fearless, no, Miss Rafael. She just travels nga everywhere, which is great, no. Another lovely lady, May Tigbao Vargas. Good evening and happy Thursday po sa lahat watching from Exeter, Devon. We love Devon. I mean, Exeter is a lovely place, no. Especially nga in the summer. Oh, si Ma'am Cora. Ma'am Cora, so she's lovely also. Ma'am Cora is a real lady, no? Good evening, sabi po niya. Good evening, Attorney Lira and everyone. Good evening po, Ma'am Cora. Hopefully you're well, no? And that you don't have a cold, unlike me. Meron akong sipon, konti lang naman. Miss Giling and her family. Lovely family. Hello po. Happy Thursday, Ma'am Lira, and to all viewers. Hi, Miss Giling. Kamusta po? Hopefully you're well. Miss Giling is so hardworking. At saka buo niyang pamilya. They are so incredibly hardworking. So, hello po. Hopefully you're inside, no? Oh, Egay the guy. We, of course, all love Egay the guy, no? Edgardo, no? So, rainy Thursday. Edgar. Rainy Thursday, sabi po niya, to Attorney Lira and to the viewers. Working from home today. Oh, good. Oh, it's Justin's birthday. Oh, I tell you what, I would if I had a good voice, and I don't, I'd sing Justin a happy birthday. I don't want to ruin his birthday by singing to him. Just bought Chinese chow mein, pancit. I love pancit. And Lola's cupcakes. Pero looking forward to lots of learning again today. Oh, we love him, no? I mean, birthday ni Justin, and he takes the time to watch us and to message us. She's a wonderful guy. Listening to Attorney Lira's lovely voice. Thanks, Guy the guy. Oh, Justin, from last week, no? I finally saw Justin, no? And he is like his father, good-looking chap. Happy birthday, Justin! Mwah! No. Oh, yun na yun, Ma'am Cora. Happy birthday to Justin. Enjoy your Chinese chow mein and Lola's cupcake. Yummy. Tama ka, no? I love pancit. Pancit at saka adobo. No, I don't know if you've had adobo recently, no? At saka, of course, puto at saka bibingka, no? Last week I had someone gave me some bagoong. I had it with actually I had it with Granny Smith dahil wala akong mangga. So I had bagoong with Granny Smith apple. I don't know if you I don't know, what do you have with bagoong apart from, something a little bit sour? So yeah, I couldn't find any sour na mangga. So anyway, it works fairly okay. Nothing like manga, of course. But it worked okay with my bagoong. So I had bagoong and Granny Smith apple. There you go. Anyway, so we'll take a little bit of a break. saglit lang po. So join me, and then we're going to talk about, we'll then deal with some great questions. Again, very important topic. So saglit lang po. Join me soon. Welcome back po. And again, welcome back to Lira Law, broadcasting live tonight and every Thursday night from 7:30 from London, England. So I hope dito, it's been raining actually. It's been raining pretty much the whole week. In fact, last week nga din, but we all need rain. But it's I hope you tucked up somewhere warm ngayon with a cup of tea. And better yet, hot chocolate nga. And certainly, happy birthday uli kay Justin. The guy's little one. He the Robin to his Batman. So Justin, happy birthday. Now, okay, so let's deal with another wonderful segment nga natin dito, which is questions. We have a fair few questions, and some actually quite not difficult but quite big questions nga. So, let's have a look at the first question. Tingnan natin po. So, tingnan natin. Okay, so first question po natin. I'm seeking for insight, advice. My partner is a UK national, and our long-term plans involve me moving to the UK, ideally within the next 2 years. I'm a graduate of a 4-year course, 3 years job experience in an LGU, local government unit, I assume that means, not the breadwinner of the family, but share some responsibilities. We're doing our research, but I would also like to know what's the best thing to do. Our options are, I like this question, ranked based on our preferences, okay? First, work visa. This would be the best option because I can't imagine not being able to work. Fair enough, And then, however, I do not know where to start looking for legitimate jobs that fit my degree work experience. Or number 2, fiancé visa, second option, but I read online that I won't be able to work with this visa. Okay, and that's actually correct. Tignan natin, but it's a little bit more than that. Or 3, get married in the Philippines and apply for family visa. No background on it yet. Additionally, I have a 6-year-old dog that I would want to bring with me too. Any insights, advice, leads would be helpful. Thank you and more power to your show. Okay, lots of issues there, but it's great. So let's look at the options available. So just to summarize, gusto mong pumunta nga dito, you're joining your partner, who is British probably, or UK British siguro, UK national, long-term plan, pupunta nga dito na kayo titira, Work visa. Now, so options, yun ang preferred choice mo, but actually with your circumstances, that may not be really the best option available to you. Work visa basically comes under what's called the skilled worker route. In the olden days, tawag doon work permit, and then it changed to tier 2, and then the recent most current reincarnation of the law is yung skilled worker route. Depends really kung anong qualifications mo. If you are if you're a nurse, for example, they always need nurses here. and also doctors nga, then it could be that you come under what's called the skilled work, the shortage occupation list, which by the way is going to be changing also soon. Or it could be that you don't, in which case kailangan ang trabaho kailangan mo is someone who can sponsor you. So ang kailangan bigay sa iyo ng sponsor mo ng trabaho yung employer mo, would be employers, what's called the certificate of sponsorship. Pero kailangan nilang lisensya. And yung lisensya niyo manggagaling nga sa home office. Now, the work visa can be quite limited. So kung may visa ka dito to be employed, ibig sabihin nandito ka to work for that employer. So kung magbagong isip nila o magka-problema ka, then of course that causes an issue nga with your visa. And as I say, yung visa mo, dito ka to work for that employer. No, well, not really with other employers. There are some exemptions to it, but generally, yung employer mo, yun lang pwedeng pagtrabahuan mo. So it can be quite limited. Kung yung visa makuha mo, then kailangan pakita 5 years nga before you can apply for indefinite leave to remain. So there are limits, understandably nga, with a work type visa. Option 2 mo, sabi mo dito, fiancé visa. Dito ka magpapakasal. Now, fiancé visa, tama ka. You read online, you won't be able to work with that visa. Tama ka insofar as whilst that visa, until you swap it properly nga, to a spouse visa kung dito nga kay kakasal. So, fiancé visa means dito ka, pupunta ka nga dito, the idea is dito kay kakasal, pagkakasal na kayo, papalitan mo yung visa mo from a fiancé to that of a spouse, dahil kasal na nga kayo. Pagka nakuha mo yung spouse visa mo, then you can work. Yung fiancé visa, 6 months lang yun. During that time, tama ka, hindi ka pwedeng magtrabaho. But it's not a forever thing, no? Dahil sabi mo dito, I won't be able to work with this visa. Oh, yeah, sure, for the time nga, and that you're waiting to swap it over to a spouse visa, then sure, hindi ka nga pwede magtrabaho. Payo ko, tip ko ito, no? Fiancé visa kayo, dito, nandito kayo. Tapos gusto nyo nga palitan nga as quickly as you possibly can. Then you should make the application on a priority. No? Priority means usually, no, within 30 days nga, actually sooner than that. In fact, if you, depending on the type of priority you have, you can hopefully then get your visa swapped over from a fiancé to a spouse. So ibig sabihin, pagka spouse visa ka na, then you can of course work in the United Kingdom. And of course, you can, kung fiancé visa ka, sabihin natin dumating ka nga ngayon, no? You can get married tomorrow as long as of course all the relevant conditions are satisfied. So the registrar, for example, you've given notice, but you can do that also. Yung asawa mo, yung fiancé mo, they can do that. He can do that in advance, or she can do that nga in advance. So I wouldn't discount the fiancé visa. Now, third option is get married in the Philippines. I'm assuming single nga din siya, and apply for family visa. No background on this yet. This actually may be your best route, no? And I have a lot of friends nga who marry in the Philippines, and sabi nga nila they're so pleased that they got married in the Philippines because it's a wonderful place to marry, and there's an inbuilt honeymoon location also. So you can also do that. Pwede kayong magpakasal nga sa atin. Make sure nga that the income requirement satisfied, which at the moment is 18,600, 29,000 pounds from April nga. Meron kang accommodation, and of course yung TB certificate kailangan mo, English language is not going to be an issue nga for you. So all of those things, if you satisfy them, let's see about getting married in the Philippines. Kasal ka sa atin, tapos make an application to come into the United Kingdom. Again, at least at the moment, I understand that it's still on offer, the priority. So, kung wala kang immigration background, then you may be able to make use of the priority service. So that means a much faster visa application, because at the moment, normal visa applications in the Philippines are taking up to 6 months. Some actually taking longer. So you may want to have a look at that. So actually, ikaw, I would say, you should consider reversing your options nga, no? Your third option, which is marrying, I would say, consider that to be the first one, and then the second one is the fiancé, and the third one nga is the work visa. But keep us informed, no? I'd be actually really interested. Now, I was going to say equally important. I mean, look, many of you would know, mga kababayan natin, mga kaibigan ko, no? You know that I am a dog person. Meron ng aso, ang pangalan nga niya Watson. So, I absolutely sympathize, empathize nga na gusto mo siyang dalhin yung aso mo nga dito. Now, you can make, the good news is you can, no? The bad news nga is there's quite a bit of paperwork involved kung kukunin mo nga aso mo nga dito. And this is the form that you need to complete. It's a few pages long, no? So there are a number of things na kailangan mangyari. So you need because we are not the Philippines is not a country under Part 1 or Part 2 nung lista nga nila. Because we're not EU, and other countries under Part 2 would be like US and on. Where we don't come in the Part 1 or Part 2. So ibig sabihin, there's more paperwork to be had. But it's all doable. So so it would be things nga like injections, no, against rabies, at saka also tapeworm injections nga, yung microchipping, no, and meron ko siguro, vet nga dun sa atin. So it's all doable, but it is a fair chunk of paperwork. So ang payo ko, get that going as soon as you possibly can, because you may find, no, that yung application mo to bring your pooch into the UK takes longer than your visa application to actually come into the United Kingdom. And of course, you want to be with them nga, no, pagka dadali mo sila. So it's very doable. If you want me to email to you nga that form, happy to do so. Just let us have your email address later on. Now, sorry that took a while. Next question po natin.
Hi, Attorney Lira. I was scrolling through my feed when I came across your video last week, and I just have a question since I'm planning to visit UK next year with a tourist visa. I was just thinking na during my stay there, and let's say I'm able to find a job, is it possible for me to switch my visa from tourist to a valid visa para makabalik and makapagtrabaho po? Thank you so much po.
Brilliant question. No, it is a question actually that I get all the time. Now, visit visa usually, and again, this is a topic that we're going to explore a little bit more because there've been changes nga to it. But kung visit visa, ibig sabihin visit nga lang. So you generally, so the quick answer is you generally cannot swap over a visit visa to something that allows you to work. So sabihin natin nga, si Mark dumating nga siya dito, no, meron siya may nag-offer sa kanyang trabaho because he clearly is a very presentable, no, intelligent chap. So then he wants to see if he can change it. Visa nga siya ngayon. He wants to see if he can change it without having to go back now to the Philippines to work in the UK. Generally, the answer is no, you can't. No, but it doesn't mean that that's the end of it. So kung meron makong trabaho nga dito, meron kayong job offer nga, what you could do, of course, is go back to the Philippines and make an application to come back in. Be very careful if you think, okay, you want to just swap it over. And problema doon, if you swap it over, you may be inviting all sorts of problems. Because generally, there are exceptions, but generally, visit visas, you can't swap for anything else, and certainly not nga employment. So be careful nga, dahil pagka na-refuse ka ng visa, if you decide to swap in the UK, a refusal of that refusal nga may then compromise any application you have to come back into the United Kingdom, or even take up nga employment, that you're creating an immigration background. So generally, no is the answer. So Mark, kung yung mangyari nga, uwi ka sa atin, kunin ka nila. So I don't.
It's Thursday night, and of course, it's Lira and Law. But bago ang lahat, congratulations po, Attorney Lira, sa bago niyong show. And guess what? may tanong. Attorney Lira, pakipaliwanag nga po para maintindihan ng mga kababayan natin na gustong pumasok at nagpaplanong pumasok dito sa UK under visit visa. May bago daw pong batas na binaba ngayon na kung saan pwede ka nang magtrabaho under visit visa. Totoo po ba ito? At kung totoo man po, ano po ang kategorya ng trabaho na allowed lang sila? I'm sure marami tayong mga kababayan dyan na curious at gustong malaman at nagpaplanong pumasok dito sa UK lalo na pag under ka ng visit visa. Maraming salamat po at good evening po sa ating lahat and congratulations again and goodbye. Bye-bye.
I love her, no? That she's so she's so natural, no? Gorgeous, no? And excellent question. And I'm so pleased you raised that because it's actually quite a big topic. So now so unang-una may nagbago. Tama ka, may nagbago nga. But it's not actually as perhaps what we would wish to happen. So let me read to you the changes. It's to do really with business visitors, no? So sabi nga nila dito, it's really to do with remote working, for example, no? O kaya may kumpanya na nga kayo. So sabihin natin nasa Pilipinas kayo, papasok nga kayo dito, you want to work remotely whilst you're here visiting, no? That's allowed now. Okay, they've clarified that's allowed nga. They've also expanding, the permitted activities, not really employment, but permitted activities for legal professionals, no? So kung abogado nga kayo, nandito kayo, you want to advise nga people, you've been asked nga to advise people, you're looking to give lectures, that they say now is allowed. Now, most people though, ang tanong nila, is visitor ba? Like Mark nga, no? Visitor, nandito nga kayo, pwede nyo bang palitan to that, say for example, as a care, or indeed as a nurse, o kaya as a manager, no? Yun, hindi pa rin po pwede. So the if you like, the expansion of business visitors really to mainly clarify actually. So remote working, pilots, for example, cabin crew members traveling to the UK as part of the Civil Aviation Authority, about leasing, they can do some work nga, but it's not scientists, researchers nga, academics conducting research in the UK, but not really for the 99% of people who are coming in as a visitor. So be careful because it's already, it's already going around. Nako, visitor ka, pwede mong palitan yun to employment kahit anuman. Hindi po yun tama. Okay? That's actually quite wrong, in fact. So kung may magsabi sa inyo, walang problema, ganyan dito, bayaran nyo nga lang kami. That's actually not quite the way to go, no? So be careful po. So the answer is kind of, but not really, no? But thank you very much for the lovely question, no, Gabriela? She's gorgeous. Now, Bella the Explorer. I love her. Question po, 9 years old, 9 years married po sila. Husband is already in the UK, Filipino, indefinite leave to remain. But the wife is living and working in Dubai 3 years. Tanong, may advantage o disadvantages po ba pag ang partner o wife is living abroad o babalik na lang sa Pinas bago i-apply yung visa papunta sa UK? No, you can make an application, no? Bella, you can make an application from Dubai. You don't need to go, you don't need to go back to the Philippines. Yung nga lang, the only thing to watch out for is the visa that you have in that country. So kung matatapos ng visa niya sa Dubai, then it's probably easier, frankly, to go to the Philippines, make an application from there, just in case kailangan niya mag-intay. So it's a question of practicalities. But yeah, no, there's no real advantage or disadvantage. So kung nandun nga siya sa Dubai, matatagalan pa siya doon siya nagtatrabaho, make an application from Dubai. Then that way, she can continue to work whilst the application is ongoing. So I don't know if there are any other questions nga, but if not, then yeah, question. We're really being put through, no? We're being challenged nga today, no? Sabi niya, so ito po galing kay from D. Yeah. Good day. I have a question regarding a partner visa. I'm Filipino and I have a British partner. We've been in a relationship for more than 2 years, and in this coming May is the third time he will come to visit me. I'm not divorced yet, but I've been separated for more than 5 years, and I've had no contact with my ex since then. I want to know if it's possible for me and my partner to avail the partner visa. It's very hard to be for us to be far from each other. Thanks in advance. Perfect question for our topic nga today. Now, have a look nga, so as of the 31st of January, so 3 weeks ago lang, nagbago na nga ang batas. Ang panibagong batas, sabi nga doon, you need to be able to show where the couple have been in a relationship similar to a marriage or civil partnership for at least 2 years. No need for living together. But if you have been living together, of course, put that forward. But in your case nga, hindi. So make sure, sabihin nyo doon, how many times nga bumabalik siya, where are you staying, nagpapadala siya ng pera sa'yo, how do you conduct nga your relationship. Kailangan yung pakita nga pa rin, even though that the living together may not be required or it's not required according to the new change. Pero kailangan pa pakita you are in a relationship similar to a marriage. So hindi nga lang boyfriend-girlfriend, no? But similar to a marriage. But this new law, as of the 31st of January, exactly fits that problem or that situation rather. So this will hopefully nga provide you, the change would now provide you with a route to come into the United Kingdom as a partner. So keep us informed, D, no? Because I'd be very interested to know kung ano nga nangyari. Now, gosh, we've had so many questions, and we're going into overtime, and I'm happy to go into overtime. That it's been a really, I think for me at least, productive time. So, batian. Again, I love this segment. Nga, Marian Galicia, Marian Paner. Happy birthday, Justin. Justin, as I say, is the Robin, no? To Egay the guy's Batman. So happy birthday, no? Yeah, happy birthday, Justin. It's you have a lovely dad, you lucky boy. No? So I won't go meron pang batian, but otherwise, look, it's been it's been a very interesting year. Anyway, it's only really been February pa lang nga tayo, no? It's been astonishingly busy in all fields, but especially po nga immigration. And I hope certainly that you're able to join us again, no, next week. So every Thursday po, Lira in Law broadcasting live to you directly, no, dealing with any questions nga that you may have. Now, if you have any questions in the meantime po, you want me to send you some information, actually inform, no, about bringing dogs into the United Kingdom, email me. Now we have a new email especially created for people who are viewing us, no, on our social media. So Lira in Law, no, so it's a new email. So Lira, yung pangalan ko po, in Law at Douglas with 2s-simon.com. Telephone number po namin 0203-375-0555. It's probably best actually to try to contact me by email nga. Website po namin where you will find articles and hopefully nga interesting points, especially nga panibagong ito. It's www.douglas-simon.com. But the topic we've discussed nga today, yung minimum income requirement at saka yung panibagong ang interpretation ng partner, will also be posted nga on our Facebook, no? So it is we'll always try nga to keep you up to date. So it's keep in touch, no? Keep in touch and keep informed. Now, this just leaves me really to say thank you again. No, thank you for joining me at Lira in Law. Hope that you can join me again next Thursday, same time, same place, no? And again, happy birthday, Justin. Mwah! No? Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat from Lira and Lo. Good night po.